Hello everybody, thank you for coming to this week's video blog right here at California Realty Training. My name is Robert Rico, and today is a special day. We have a great interview with Nikki Miller, who's the team leader at Keller Williams Santa Monica. Coming up next, enjoy the interview.
It was, but it was a lot of travel. You travel, if you're just doing one sport, then you're traveling, like for football, for example, you're traveling like 8 months out of the year, and if you continue with other sports, you're also traveling. And I just didn't love it. It was cool, especially because I did it when I was really young. Like I was in college when I was doing it and got into it like through internships and things like that. Right. And so it was really fun. It was an amazing experience, and I learned a lot they have to teach you how to present and talk and speak to people, and right. I feel like everybody should have to go through that training. It's so important, but it just wasn't what I want to do like for the rest of my life.
But all that stuff helped you with the real estate gig.
Tenfold.
Good. So how did you transition then from being a reporter? Is it a reporter?
Yeah, sideline reporter.
Reporter to real estate. I'm trying to figure out the transition there.
Yeah, so I got really lucky because, like I said, I was doing this while I was in college. So I was so young. I mean, I stopped doing the sideline reporting when I was only like 19.
But is that what you wanted to do
at the time? Younger? Yeah, like I went to school for journalism, for broadcast journalism.
Oh, cool.
And I realized that really wasn't what I wanted to do long term. Like I loved being in conversation with people. I didn't mind being on camera. Like I liked that fast-paced environment, but I just knew it wasn't the perfect fit, and I wanted to find the perfect fit. So let me stop
you there. But how did you know that wasn't the perfect fit? I mean, how do you know at such a young age this isn't the perfect fit? It sounded like you were on a pretty good ride.
Yeah, I was.
I just want people to know, when do you know, it's the time for me to make that change? How'd you know?
How do you know? It's such a good question.
Was there an it moment?
No, there wasn't. I always this is something I've always said. I would love to tell you that I had like some big esoteric moment, but I didn't. It was just a sort of subtle accumulation of what did I want to do. But when I really looked into it, I love reporting because I love to write too. So I was both writing for the newspaper and doing broadcast. So I was like on screen, on radio, and in print, and I loved that. But what was funny is that when I looked at it, part of the reason I didn't want to do it anymore is because I knew it would probably be a little bit of time until I was making real money.
Got it.
And my big goal in life was to invest in real estate.
Got it.
Like when I looked up how to create enormous wealth and build passive income, all signs point to real estate.
Okay, so the aha moment was there. It was you realized you needed more financial benefits from your career, I guess.
Exactly.
So hence here comes the real estate career thing.
Exactly.
How'd you get into that?
Yeah, so I ended up double majoring in broadcast journalism and finance. So I went and started working as.
How do you connect those two?
I don't know. It's such a good question.
What the heck? How does that even? All right.
I know. Well, okay. So here's the logic behind it. If I say it out loud, it sounds quite logical. I wanted to get into real estate investing, and I was like, I don't know how to invest in real estate. Who does know how to invest in real estate? People who understand finance. Got it. I'll go get a degree in finance.
That makes sense. All right.
It's probably not a great reason. So I went and got so I double majored, and then I went and started working as an underwriter for a real estate investment and development firm. So an underwriter effectively pencils out deals. You literally just run numbers to see if things will work or not. That's what I did.
I'm just trying to fathom, because I know what underwriters do. I mean, it's detailed work. There's no relation from the underwriting world to what you did before on the sideline.
Not at all.
Was it like culture shock? Like, what the heck am I doing here?
No, only because it was something I enjoyed. Like, I have always loved real estate.
Finance major, that's right. Okay.
So understanding how to make a real estate deal work was just so much fun for me. I loved it. And trying to figure out what we could move around and how do we navigate this and how do we negotiate it so that it works for everybody. I loved that. That was my favorite thing to do. So being able to be on the back end of understanding how deals worked has been hugely valuable to my career. And the dual experience kind of made me an assassin because I understood the back end and the real estate, but they could put me into a meeting with someone too where I could communicate with them in a sophisticated way.
That's where I was going to go with that, is you have both sides of the brain working here. You got the whole package. So now you got your underwriting position. How does that go into your real estate field? So now we're talking about sales, right? Real estate sales.
Yeah.
Did you do real estate sales?
Yeah.
How'd you get started?
So this was in LA. I was born and raised in LA, and went to work for a real estate investment and development firm in LA. And my big goal there was to become a partner on deals, like a partner in the firm and a partner on deals.
Wow.
And because again, my whole goal was just to invest in real estate. That's all I wanted to do. So I had gotten my real estate license along the way just to have it.
Got it. That sounds familiar. Just so everybody knows, just to have it. You never know when you're going to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Just to have it, and so that if I wanted to buy a property for myself, like I could represent myself. That was really the goal of getting my real estate license. And so this is funny, sort of how it all came to be. But 2 days after, so I finally, I kid you not, I worked like 80 to 100-hour weeks. Like I was grinding for 2 years at this firm, and all I wanted to do was to prove myself enough.
Can we put that in perspective? Hold on, 80 to 100-hour weeks. That would be what, 12, 13, 15-hour days?
Yeah, 6 to 7 days a week.
Okay.
No vacations.
I'm just trying to
2 years straight.
I'm just trying to digest that.
It was crazy. Like I don't
You're
even.
passionate about getting this position.
Oh yeah, about getting the partnership opportunity, absolutely. And so 2 days after they offered for me to get in on a deal, which was like which was all that I wanted in life at the time, my husband got transferred to Northern California.
Oh man. So which one did you pick?
Right, exactly. Well, I was like, I like him, so I guess I'll go. So I was devastated at the time, like absolutely devastated. And so I moved to Northern California with him, where I didn't know a soul. And that's
nice of you that you did that for your husband.
Yeah, right. Well, he's still around. We made it. So I didn't hate him too much after. There was a period of definitely some frustration. So after we moved, I thought, what am I going to do? Like I can't do this process again of the 80 to 100-hour weeks. Like I can't go to another investment firm and build this relationship and this trust all over again. Because it was also a really unique opportunity when I was in LA. I happened to get into the firm, like I was the third employee. So I happened to get in really early, which was helpful. And I was like, this is just not something I'm interested in going through the process again. And so
in the meantime, you still had your real estate license.
In the meantime, I still had my real estate license. So I thought, what am I going to do? I'm going to go and just sell real estate. I know real estate.
All right, so now we got a mini aha moment.
Yeah, a little bit of a mini aha moment. And I thought, I'm going to go sell real estate. So it's a great example of how well you can do when you don't know what you don't know. Like it never occurred to me.
Can I say that again?
When you don't know what you don't know. It never occurred to me in real estate sales how important it is to like know people. Yeah. And I didn't know a soul. I mean, literally the only other person I knew.
Well, up in Northern California.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know a soul.
Oh, you knew the world down here in Southern California.
I did, but I wasn't selling real estate in Southern California, so it didn't matter.
Okay,
and so I knew my husband. That was it. And so I went and started working in real estate. I started with a different company other than Keller Williams first, and didn't have a great experience there. In fact, I walked in and I was really clear on what I wanted to do and what I wanted to achieve in my first year. And I walked into the sales manager and I said, I'd like to sell 12 houses this year. And she said, oh, honey, you should get more realistic. You're never going to do that. And I was like, well, this isn't the right place for me. And so I found Keller Williams through chance. Happened to be talking to someone at like a networking breakfast. And she said, based off what you're telling me, you should go and check out this company. They're really well known. They have a great training program. That was all I needed at the time. Like I just needed someone to show me what to do. Right. I knew if they did, I would do the work, but I needed them to show me what to do.
Right. So you needed the training.
Exactly.
Got it.
And so I found Keller Williams. And I wish I had like a Phoenix rising from the ashes story for you in my first year, but I don't.
Well, this story might be a Phoenix, what did you call it again?
A Phoenix rising from the ashes?
Somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. So my first year, I did everything that they told me to do. And again, I had to be really strategic about how I built my business because I didn't have a lot of money. I was 22 years old at the time. And
we talk about that in a different vlog about how important saving your finances, like you said, when you're first getting started in real estate, you might want to try to save some because a lot of people, that's a whole different career.
Yeah. Well, this story will put that in perspective. So I was 22 years old when I started. So I'm young. I'm in the Bay Area, which is an even more competitive market than it is here in LA. High price points, people who have been there for, eons. And I, like I said, I didn't have any money. So I thought, how am I going to build this business? I don't have the resources to market online or, to mail postcards or whatever most people do. So I thought, but if I can get in front of somebody, I can prove to them that I'm the right person to do the job. And so I built my entire business door knocking. I would go out every single day, no matter what, rain or shine. And it's not like LA where, it's sunny 364 days a year. Like it rains there for months out of the year. And so I would go out every single day, rain or shine, and I would door knock for hours.
Let me stop you there, Nikki. So this door knocking thing, I've spoken to a lot of new agents, and some who are going to be agents, who are just students still, who tell me flat out, they look at me in the eye and they say, I am not going to door knock. It's not, I guess, they want to utilize technology. So well, why go out there and physically do it when I can just do everything online? I can market online. I can reach people online. Yet you're doing door knocking at such a young age.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I always think about...
It seems so old-fashioned.
Yeah.
Door knocking.
It could be. And to me, at some point, doing things online will be old-fashioned and door knocking will be a new.
Like that. All
right? So I always think about in 5 to 10 years, my bet is that the skill set that will be most needed is the ability to effectively communicate with people.
I love it.
And I knew that I could do that. That was something I could definitely do. And could I do the things online? Like, for sure. I could post on social media and I could do things on Facebook. And that's, as someone who's in my age range, that just came naturally to me.
Right. So how did the door knocking go for you?
So I did it every single day for 354 days because I got married that year. So I took a little time off to do that.
Did you actually count the days?
Oh, yeah. 300
of door knocking?
Yeah, 354 days I door knocked that year. I wrote it all down. I still have it.
That's
it's like
awesome. Awesome.
I'll keep it forever. It makes me very proud.
Very good.
And so for 354 days I door knocked, and I started in January, so I had like a full calendar year of results. And I thought, because they told me, like, do this and your business will grow. And so I did it on blind faith and I did what they told me to do. And I thought that after doing that for so long, at the end of the year, I would definitely be Rookie of the Year. Like I definitely would have produced the most. And I made $15,000 that year.
Okay. So the financial success wasn't what you wanted.
Wasn't there.
But there had to be some kind of success in there somewhere.
But then the next year, I made it.
A lot.
Yeah. My first year making 6 figures at 23 years old.
Wow.
And the next year I made double that. All from the results that came from.
Do you give credit to the door knocking?
That's what built my business. 100%. That's what built my business.
California Realty Training, just so you know, we emphasize door knocking over and over and over. And a lot of students or a lot of new realtors are like, no way, it ain't for me. I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what they're afraid of. Were you ever hesitant on doing door knocking?
Yeah,
Why?
It's terrifying.
Why?
Like it's.
Well, let them know what's terrifying. How'd you get over that?
Yeah. So I believe that action cures fear.
Okay.
Right. So I just did it. And I actually have like a funny door knocking story for you. So the first time I went door knocking, it's scary enough as it is. I recognize that it is scary. As scary as it is, I went out the first time and I was determined. I was like, okay, I don't have the money to do this online or mailing advertising. I did open houses also, which was also a lead generation measure, but I refused to cold call. So I was like, door knocking and open houses is it. That's what I got to do to build this business. Okay. And the first time I went out, I went to a door and the guy called the cops on me. Literally. He literally called the cops on me. And I was like mortified. I went home, I was crying.
Wait, did the cops show up?
Yes.
Holy moly.
Yeah, they came. And I was like this little 22-year-old blonde girl. And I was like, I'm so sorry, officer.
Oh my
God. And he said I was like invading his property. Like it was crazy. And literally all I had done was like knock on his door. And he started yelling and I ran away because I was terrified. And so that was the only door I knocked that day. But I kept doing it. That was sort of my proof to myself of like, no matter what, I'm going to keep doing this. And I'm going to build this business, whatever it takes. And 3 years later, that guy, I'll never forget the house as long as I live. I sold that guy's house. He called me and I sold his house. No, he didn't remember it. And I told him at the closing table. I didn't have the courage to tell him like in our meeting. Yeah. So we were closing on his house. We ended up like setting a record in the neighborhood. It was like a great sale. And I said, do you remember that time a couple years ago when you called the cops on someone who door knocked you? And he was like, I do remember that. I hate when people, and he just started going off. And I was like, That was me.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
And then we had a good laugh about it. But it is scary, and I believe that action cures the fear, because the more that I did it, the less scary it got, and the more I could just be myself, and people got to know me for me.
Yeah. So before we get into the next stage of your career, which is leadership, I want to touch a little bit on down deep. Keller Williams, in a sense, taught you the skills. I mean, you can teach skills to anybody, but there's got to be something more than that you have down deep. What's the down deep thing that you have that, 360 something days, and you counted it and you said, I'm on a mission. The average person doesn't have that.
Yeah.
Why did you have it? What were you trying to prove, or what was it inside of you that said, I'm going to do this?
Yeah, I'm just relentless. It's just it's like in my
DNA?
It's in my bones. Yeah, it really is. I just drive. I mean, I have.
You think we could teach drive? Can you teach drive?
It's such a good question, and it's something I struggle with.
Yeah.
I think if the why is big enough, then you can. I think that it pulls people through, but I think so many people are petrified of what they're actually capable of. Mm-hmm. That they stop right before the finish line.
That's a good point.
And so I think everyone has drive inside of them, and the better question is, do they choose to wake it up?
All right, so now you're there, you become a successful real estate agent. Somehow, some way you end up here in Southern California. All right, and you become a team leader, which, if you can explain to our watchers out there, what is a team leader in general? Yeah,
so the way that I got here is, so after that first year of not many results, the next year, my team was one of the top producing teams in the county, and it was the second year in business, and I was 23 years old building out a real estate team.
Right.
And
making tons of money.
Yeah,
for your age.
Yeah. For any age, I was really fortunate, and I'm really grateful for that time. And from those results, I got opportunity to be in conversation with people who were doing really big things. I got to go to like masterminds and classes.
What is masterminds? Are those leadership group meetings or something?
Yeah. So masterminds were with other top agents.
Okay.
And then one of the things that I really credit a lot of my progress to is that I'm very what we call learning based. I am constantly learning and growing and understanding what I can do better and how I can be better and how I can grow as like a human being.
You ever get tired of learning?
No. I mean, if you're not growing, you're dying. Like, I always think about people as, if a tree stops growing, it's literally dying.
So you really got to feel and live that. It's not just a meme that, oh my God, this is an affirmation. You actually got to live it. Yeah, you have to. I mean, otherwise, what is it all for? I got you.
Like, if you're not waking up and you're not growing and you're not evolving, like what is it all for? What is all the hard work for?
Right.
If I'm not learning how I can better serve the people around me, and if I'm not understanding how I can, make an impact and be of better use to this world, like what am I doing here?
So this attitude you have then, of course, is great for this mastermind situation.
Yeah, exactly.
You get to take this to these masterminds.
Yeah, so I would go to these masterminds, learn from people who were doing more business than me, who had been in the business longer than me.
Can we call it the all-stars of agents then, something like that?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, it's kind of the all-stars. And I was going to classes, and through that, I became an assistant team leader at the office that I was at in Walnut Creek.
Again, what's a team leader, so people know what the team leader is?
So a team leader is like
a manager?
Yeah, I'm effectively the CEO of this organization. I manage it and manage the agents, provide value to the agents, and move the organization as a whole forward.
Got it. So you were the assistant.
Assistant.
Right.
Assistant team leader in Northern California, and in that I grew so much from the lead. That was my first really experience in true leadership, like running an organization that was bigger than my team.
You ever think you're going to be in a position like that? In a leadership role? I mean, you were rocking and rolling, just doing your own independent, real estate gig.
Yeah.
Was it a challenge for you?
Yes.
Maybe that's why you took it.
Oh, yes. It was a huge challenge. I mean, running an organization of that size, I mean, when you're running an office that has 350 agents in it.
Mother of mercy.
Yeah, that you learn at such a high level. First of all, I believe that an organization grows to the extent that the leader does. right? So if I wanted my organization to grow, I needed to grow as a leader.
Wow.
And so it forced me into this accelerated growth on, who do I have to become in order to be someone that these agents want to be in business with.
Got it.
And so that was my first taste of that. And I did that for about a year and realized that I had left my team a little bit too early. They weren't well established enough in their systems and models and in the market, because I'd only had my team for about a year and a half.
You're talking your real estate team.
My sales team.
Got it.
Yeah. And so I went back to doing that for about another year and a half and continued to grow it. And then I met Rick Cunningham, who's the owner of this office.
Yep, we interviewed, you can check our vlog out. We had a great interview with Rick Cunningham, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's incredible. And so they had actually interviewed me for a position in Northern California. Rick and I went to dinner, and I just, fell in love with his entrepreneurial spirit and his view on real estate and how passionate he is about growing the people around him. It was like found like.
It also sounds like you're falling in love with leadership roles.
I was also, definitely falling in love with the leadership role.
Okay.
I know that this is where I'm supposed to be and how I'm of best service. And so, I believe that we all have the opportunity to lead anywhere we are, whether I'm leading on my sales team or leading in this organization, it doesn't matter. But I believe that we have an obligation to lead everywhere we go.
Got it.
And so doing that at a high level, yes, it's a challenge and it's an opportunity for me to grow as a person. So I had that meeting with Rick, and I made the hardest phone call of my life because they offered me the position in Northern California. And I said, Rick, I love your organization. I love you. I love the people who are a part of this, but I can't accept this because I don't want to live in Northern California anymore. I want to move back.
What about your husband's position?
At that point, he knew that he wanted to move back also.
Got it. Okay.
So he was ready to move forward. Yeah, to come home and to move forward in his career too. And so I called Rick and I said that, and he said, well, you know that I have offices in Southern California too. And I said, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. And he said, well, let's continue this conversation and see what we could come up with. And so that's how I ended up here in Santa Monica.
In good old Santa Monica, which is in Los Angeles. So now you're here,
yeah.
Right? And you're, I'm guessing you're loving this. This is a beautiful office. Mm-hmm. When you're sitting in your office as a team leader, which is a manager, right? Or CEO of this. All
of the above. They're all the right descriptions.
Of this brokerage.
Yeah.
All right. Now you have people, because you're now in charge of, a lot. How many agents are in this office?
About 335.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
now.
I'm guessing you get plenty who come every week or every day maybe who want to work here under your umbrella.
Yeah.
What do you look for in somebody who got their license? They're excited. Yeah, my God, I got my license. Listen, Nikki, for a lot of these people, I've seen it with my own eyes because I've taught this program for the last 5-6 years. This has to happen for them. This real estate gig has to happen. This is their last hope, and it does. Like you, they have that fire inside, that down deep. It's just, and it happens. And what do you look for when they're in front of you, and you see it in their eyes that this has to happen for them, and you want to support them? But what do you look for as a team leader, CEO, from these agents? Yeah,
it's such a good question, and it's not a one size fits all. Like I wish I could give you.
I dig that.
Yeah.
So what do you look? What size does fit? A brokerage.
Yeah, so we're a bit different here at KW Santa Monica. So traditionally in real estate, the model has been like, listen, if you can fog a mirror and you have a pulse, like you can join our office, right? So we don't run it like that because I believe that part of the reason that we are so successful here is because we really have a culture of productivity and of teamwork and of people who are hungry to learn and to grow and to be a part of something bigger. And so that's what I'm looking for. I want to know if someone is a team player, if someone has the entrepreneurial spirit and the drive to grow their own business. Because while I'm confident that we are the best support system that exists in the real estate world and the best education system, they also have to do the work. And so I'm looking for someone who's willing to do the work and who's willing to plug in and to show up and to be open to whatever their progress looks like in real estate.
Let's imagine I'm a new agent. Let me just represent them for a minute.
Yeah.
And I really want to work here, and I think I could do this. And I'm feeling what you want out of your company, and I just don't know what to ask.
Oh, there's so many questions I wish I had known to ask at the beginning. Again, the hardest part about being new is that you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And so if I had to recommend that someone ask something, first and foremost, I would ask a company, what kind of support is here for me as a new agent?
Support.
Yeah, what exactly does that look like? And be clear, and also give me examples of people who you've made successful from the time that they were brand new agents until...
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
So actually give me some names of people who...
Because I can sit here and sell somebody all day. Like I can list all of the reasons that our company is great, but nothing is as valuable as real life proof. Like what I tell everybody who interviews with us is I'll explain to them what we do here and that we're great, and we are. And then I say, and all that's great, but you need to make sure that this is the right environment for you. Come to a team meeting, come to a class, see that we are who we say we are.
What makes the right environment?
I think it's going to be different for everybody.
Okay.
I know that this was the right environment for me because it was a big enough world that my success could grow and I wouldn't outgrow the company, if that makes sense.
Kind of, yeah.
So I think it's different for everyone depending on how they want to build their business, but that's what's great. Like you have to find a space where they have the ability to teach you how to build your business in whatever vertical you're going to choose. So if you want to crush open houses, like we can teach you how to do that. You want to crush door knocking? Like we can teach you how to do that. You want to do cold calling or whatever that might look like for you. You want to do social networking? Like we can teach you how to do that.
So specifically, it's number one that's going to be support. Ask the brokerage what kind of support.
Support is
and
number
give me
one.
examples of names of who people have succeeded in here.
Yeah, for a new agent.
All right, Nikki. So they're in front of you. Is there a bad question that they can ask?
There's not a lot of bad questions at the beginning. Like there's not a lot.
If I was to ask you, Nikki, what's the commission split here? Is that starting off on the right foot?
Yeah, I love that question because we're very unique, so I get to answer it a little bit differently probably than most companies, but we're a bit unique in that everybody who comes in our organization is on the same plan. It's all above board. Everybody knows what everybody is at. It's the same commission split for everybody.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Meaning less stress for you. I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is because we know it works. And so that way you don't feel like the guy next to you has a better deal than you and the person next to you guys has a better deal than you. And so it just creates an environment where, again, everybody is on the same page, on the same team. No one's getting special treatment.
Everybody uses the same bat, same glove, everything.
Exactly.
Just go out and play the game.
Exactly. And then it's up to you how much you want to practice.
Got it. Oh, I like that. Good. Anything else you can advise new agents when they're walking in there? They're probably going to be nervous as heck.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be a whole new career. Again, this has to happen for them. They want to have the right support, the right, everything that they should ask. Make sure they got everything on the table and then ask all the questions they, had to ask for a successful career.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So we actually give everybody who interviews with our organization a list of 10 or 15 questions that they should ask the brokerage that they go into. Oh, yeah.
Is it realistic for someone who comes in new to see the end of the rainbow if they wanted to go through all these channels of maybe one day be leadership and ownership and investing? Is it feasible for everybody to have an opportunity in these categories?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I actually love when a new agent comes in and has clarity like that because then I can show them the path.
And you
I can walk someone backwards. Oh, yeah.
During the interview.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible. How much time do you spend with these interviews then?
Oh, everyone's different, but I would say, at least an hour per interview.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So it's not just, bullet questions. It's getting to know them and see if this is the right relationship.
Yeah, it's a true needs analysis because from an integrity standpoint, I want to make sure that we're the right fit for them and that they're the right fit for us.
It's not just a dollar bill to you guys.
No, not at all. And I want to make sure, like I said, that wherever they want to go with this career, that we can deliver on that. I really credit this company to a lot of what I have today, like this big, beautiful, amazing life that I've started to build and continue to build is a result of the opportunities that I've been given here. Mm-hmm. And so I want to make sure that I'm able to pass that on. And in order to do that, I need to know what they're interested in.
Think energy is infectious?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that as a new agent especially, I remember sitting in that seat and I remember how tough it can be when you're working that hard and you don't necessarily see the results yet. And having a company, a brokerage, a group, a coach, a team leader around you who has the energy that you can pull from on those days that are hard is invaluable.
Yeah, not from a CEO standpoint. Let's just flip it now. From the CEO standpoint, now you're looking at a brand new agent. What do you look for in them? What would you prefer they have the qualities for your brokerage?
Yeah.
This is pretty deep now because these people are looking at you like, what should I go in there?
Yeah.
Should I dress a certain way? Should I, What do you think? What are you when they walk in? What are you looking for? What are you looking the energy, the whole package. What is it that you look for?
I definitely look for humility. That's probably a weird first answer,
Oh, wow.
but I really look for humility because it's so hard to teach someone who thinks that they know it all. And the fact of the matter is, at the beginning, I don't care if I came from a real estate background when I got into sales, and I didn't know it all. Mm-hmm. There was so much I didn't know. And at the beginning, you don't even know what you don't know.
Right.
So you need to come in with a humility, whether you've built businesses or have been in real estate in a different capacity or whatever that looks like, or even if you've sold real estate in another state. It's so important to come in with humility and say, this is what I want to do. Show me how I can do it. Or give me the tools in order to succeed, and I'll plug in. That's what I really look for: humility and the courage to plug into the systems and trust that they're going to work.
All right, so Nikki, let's close this up by. I would like for you to give these viewers some advice on a real estate career. Again, some of these people, this gig has to happen. They're anxious. They're passionate. They just need the right tools, need the right support, they need the right everything. It sounds like they probably get it here. It sounds like you'd be a great leader for them. But what do you personal advice you can give them to say, you know what, this can happen if what?
If what? I'll just tell you the advice I wish I could go back and have given myself. It would have saved me a lot of sleepless nights.
Okay.
Number one is be gritty. You have to be gritty. So
this can happen if they're gritty.
Yeah, you have to be gritty in this business. It's not easy.
What does that mean, gritty?
It means that you have to. It's not just about hard work. It's about determination and trusting that if you do the right things, that the success will come.
Okay.
Because there's no timeline. Like, I remember I got my license, and when I first started, I hung it with a brokerage, and I was like, all right, now all the sales are going to pour in, and it's just not how it works.
Okay.
You have to be gritty, and you have to have patience that the hard work that you're putting in will show up.
Okay, got it.
And that's number one piece of advice. Number two, I would say, is self-growth. Like, every day, no matter what, you should be growing.
Well, again, that's broad. What do you mean by self-growth? Let's get specific.
It can look different for everyone.
What did you do today for self-growth?
So I read about 50 books a year. I read a lot.
Whoa.
All mostly business books, or books about investing, or being a better leader.
Doesn't that confuse the heck out of you? It's a lot of information in there.
No, I love it because, again, if an organization grows to the extent that the leader does, I have an obligation to grow as quickly and as much as I can. Otherwise, I'm letting my team down.
Okay.
Right? Like, if I decide that I don't want to grow, and again, ultimately an organization grows to the extent that a leader does, right, then I've just let them down. I've just decided that I'm not willing to do what it takes to grow for my people, and that's just not acceptable.
What's one of the best books you've read then, say, this year?
Ooh, the best books?
Leadership books that make you grow.
Oh, it's so hard.
Which one do you recommend for a new agent? Let's go there.
Never Split the Difference is one of my favorite negotiation books of all time.
Got it.
I recommend that one a lot.
That'd be great for somebody who's never been in sales?
Yes. Okay, yes. Good. And because I'm very question based, and that's a great book for that. Any of John Maxwell's leadership books are great. Ego is the Enemy.
Okay.
I think it's by Ryan Holiday.
Ego is the Enemy. That goes back to your humility.
Yep. Ego is the Enemy, and Obstacle is the Way. He wrote both of those books. Are both really good.
Got it.
And The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, which is literally just a blueprint on how to build $1 million real estate business.
Is that the red book?
That's the red book.
That's the red book.
Yeah,
so
that's
a great book.
It always blows my mind. So I get new agents all the time. I coach people separately, like a coaching business as well. And they'll call me and they're like, I'm so stuck and I don't know what to do and help me. And I say, my first question every time is, have you read the red book? And if the answer is no, I won't coach them, because it means that they're not willing to invest in their own success. That book, like, we give it here for free.
It's a blueprint.
And it's like $10 on Amazon.
Definitely a blueprint.
Yeah, it's literally a roadmap on how to be a millionaire real estate agent. Right. And so I want to pour into people who are willing to pour into themselves.
So personal growth is another.
Personal growth.
Let's give one more piece of advice for someone who's getting their license, brand new licensee, ready to rock and roll. They're in front of you. You can look at them and say, if you want to make in this business, you could if
I think I'm going to go back to humility. Yeah. And I always like to be, so I like to be specific on this because at the beginning, if someone told me to like be humble, I always pictured humble as like head down, soft, quiet in the corner. And that's not what it is. I believe that humility is, so arrogance to me is I can't fail. Like I can't fail, right? I know so much, I'm so great that I can't fail. Humility is, I know I'm going to fail and I'm going to keep going anyway.
Oh.
And that to me is humility, because when I started in this process, I knew I would fail. I knew that every day wouldn't be what I wanted it to be. And I made a commitment to myself that I would show up anyway.
Nice. And humility, again, when it comes to your clients, it's amazing. It's amazing what it does.
Oh my gosh.
You're humble.
I think sometimes at the beginning, this isn't like another good piece of advice. We feel like we're going to sell ourselves out if we don't know the answer to everything.
Right.
But I've been in this business for years, and I've sold hundreds of homes at this point, thousands of homes at this point, and I still don't know everything. Like there's still things that people come into my office with. They're like, what should I do here? I'm like, my gosh, I've never run into that before. How weird.
Right.
Let's figure it out together.
Right.
So I believe that it shows what a professional you are to say, I don't know the answer. Let me figure it out and I'll get back to you. So I can actually give you the right information versus bluffing and crossing my fingers that it's the right thing to say.
Yeah. You know what? You're definitely an awesome leader. What I want to do is this. I want to please, if you can tell the viewers out there where they can find you, if they have questions for you, where they can reach you. If anything, they can leave the question down below in the comment section. But if they can go direct to you, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Let them have it. See, your information, where they can contact you. That'd be great.
Yeah. So my sales team's website is nikkimillerteam.com, and so if they want to check that out, they can go there. They can also go to kwsantamonica.com to learn more about our actual office, and you can contact us through either one of those websites. We have career seminars every 2 weeks here in the office. I personally lead them with my assistant team leader, Johnny. We lead them together. It's something I love doing because there's so many questions I wish I had asked at the beginning, so I like to help with that. So we're pretty easy to get a hold of.
What's next for Nikki Miller?
That's always a hard question for me. Like when someone asks, where do you want to be in 5 years?
What's after leadership? I mean, you're running a great CEO business. You're doing great. As you position this as CEO, what would you like to do next? I don't know. Do you own?
I think what is the wrong question. I think I always say, I believe that asking what I want to do next is the wrong question. It's more, who do I want to be next and who do I want to grow into? And so for me, it's always about how can I grow more as an individual so that I can give back more to the people around me. And so, right now I am absolutely in love with this office and I'm not going anywhere. I love, building it and growing our team here and being a part of their success. It's been a really humbling and amazing experience for me. And, continuing to grow my sales team in Northern California and continuing to invest in real estate and teaching all over the country is really what I spend my time doing now.
That's awesome. It sounds like you've had a great career, but it has yet to slow down. You're going to keep on rocking.
Yep.
All right. Hey, listen, everybody, thank you for coming to this week's video blog. We hope to see you next week. If you have any questions, again, leave them down below. Great guest today. Any questions for her? You can reach her direct. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching this last video. Hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. Hey, do us a favor. If you think a family member or a friend would also enjoy it, why don't you share it with them? I guarantee it, they're going to get something out of it. In addition, if you have any comments, questions, or a topic you want us to discuss, hey, leave it down in the comment section. And one last thing, if you haven't subscribed yet, what the hell are you waiting for? Do it right now. Hope to see you next week.